We are gathered here today to sip some tea, honey, so make sure you guys have your teacups ready because this tea is what? Piping hot. Hey, you guys, it's your girl T, and I hope everybody's doing good today. Make sure you guys have your teacups ready.
Get ready. Y'all get ready.
Yes, you get ready.
Because this tea is what? Piping hot. All right, y'all. So I want to come out here and talk about the whole Seal situation. There has been an update. Now, you guys remember when Seal was, sending subliminal shots at Oprah Winfrey, and then he backtracked like Michael Jackson? Well, surprise, surprise. Now all of a sudden somebody else is coming out and they're waging allegations against him. So what's going on is that basically an actress named Tracy Birdsall, I've never heard of this woman before, but she says that she was Seal's neighbor in Los Angeles in the fall of 2016. And she says that the two of them developed a very close friendship, and that one day she had loaned him her salad spinner, and she went to go to his house to go get it back from him, and all of a sudden Seal lunged at her, and he basically forced himself on her and started kissing her. And she was like, wait, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Back up. And he was like, what do you think I'm doing? I'm kissing you. And so she was just really distraught by that. And she claims that he was groping her breast and filling her up. And she demanded that he stopped. So when all this took place in 2016, did Tracy come out and say anything? Nope. But shortly after the whole Oprah situation where Seal was, telling women to come out and tell their stories and saying that, this Me Too hashtag is a good thing and it's not fair that women are suffering in silence and all this stuff he was saying on his Facebook page. You guys watched the video. Well, she says that's what inspired her to come out and basically put Seal on blast. Now, I told y'all that Chrissy Teigen was saying a lot of stuff to him when he was blasting Oprah, and Chrissy Teigen was basically saying that, he has a lot of skeletons in his closet too. I wonder if maybe Chrissy Teigen knew about this actress, and maybe, Oprah's peoples or somebody tapped her on the shoulder and was like, you know what? We're going to teach him a lesson. Because that's what it just seems like to me. It seems really odd that after he caught out Oprah for her supposed foolishness and, the stuff that she was doing with twisting the whole Me Too movement, all of a sudden now here comes his own Me Too allegations. So I just find that really, really strange. But now if that's not crazy enough, actor Aziz Ansari, basically he's been accused of sexual misconduct, and this was trending all over social media. People were shocked because he's the Indian comedian and actor, and he comes off as really, really goofy and down to earth, homely, stuff like that. And this woman is basically accusing him of sexual assault. And she's claiming that he repeatedly got sexually aggressive with her despite her protesting. She wants to remain anonymous. She refuses to state her name. And she claims that she went on a date with him last year and it ended up really bad in his Tribeca apartment. Now, if you guys haven't gotten a chance to read her whole date story, we posted on Lovelyti.com, and I know it sparked a really good debate on Twitter. A lot of folks were going back and forth. The woman said that, they were messing around. He came on to her immediately, started fondling her, undressing himself. He gave her oral. She gave him oral. I mean, it was such a bullshit ass letter. I couldn't even stomach it. This woman had many opportunities to get up and leave, and I just call bullshit on this whole thing. And that's the sad part, is that when you have people coming out and they're basically equating a bad date or a bad consensual sexual experience with somebody as a sexual assault, that's why I have to draw the line. That's where this whole Me Too thing, it's starting to make people just be over it. Because at this point in time, if I was to make a video about everybody who's been accused of sexually assaulting somebody, everybody who's been accused under this whole Me Too movement, I would have a whole Dragon Ball T series. It's been so many people accused. And, what kind of bothers me is that a lot of people were not only accused, they were also prosecuted in the eyes of the public. People lost their jobs. People were, fired. People, Travis Smiley was fired from his position because he was having sex with his subordinates. A lot of people received swift punishment even before any criminal trial had been levied against these people. And that's where we go into a slippery slope when we're so quick to condemn everybody as soon as we hear something without actually looking at the facts, okay? So, I mean, at this point in time, it's just this whole Me Too movement is all over the place. And that's unfortunate because you have a lot of people who were really sexually assaulted, who were really, at risk of losing their jobs if they said something. And this movement is supposed to be helping them. And now you have every wacko who's upset, who is seeking revenge, who just wants to get attention. Now you have all these whack job females coming out the woodwork. Like, I'm sorry. I don't know how to be, PC and cookie cutter to make some of y'all feel better, but that's just how I talk. The fact that she has a nerve to remain anonymous so that way she can be protected, but you're so quick to run to the media instead of the police. I give her whole story the damn side eye. To me, she's looking for straight up attention, and I'm not the only one who's thinking that. Ashleigh Banfield went off yesterday on CNN, basically saying shit that I've been saying on my channel for years, you know what I'm saying? So I guess she finally got the balls to say it on a national platform. And the sad part is she told TMZ today that she was so scared to say what she said because she feared that she'd be fired. I want you guys to go ahead and watch this clip of Ashleigh Banfield going off. Check this out.
Well, I'd like to say something here, and maybe this is best done in the form of an open letter to Aziz Ansari's accuser. Ready? Dear Grace, not your real name. I'm sorry that you had a bad date. I have had a few myself. They stink. I am sure it must be really weighing on you. It's hard being a victim. Very painful. Just ask anyone who's been on that end of crime and justice. I cover them every day. It's no picnic. But let's take a moment to reflect on what you claim was the worst night of your life, end quote. You had a bad date. Your date got overly amorous. After protesting his moves, you did not get up and leave right away. You continued to engage in the sexual encounter. By your own clear description, this was not a rape, nor was it a sexual assault. By your description, your sexual encounter was unpleasant. It did not send you to the police. It did not affect your workplace or your ability to get a job. So I have to ask you, what exactly was your beef? That you had a bad date with Aziz Ansari. Is that what victimized you to the point of seeking a public conviction and a career-ending sentence against him? Is that truly what you thought he deserved for your night out? Let me be completely clear. If you were sexually assaulted, you should go to the police right now. If you were sexually harassed and your bad date because of his actions mitigated your ability to do your job, you should definitely speak up and loud. Because that's happened to me too, and it stinks. But if you just had an unpleasant sexual experience, you should have gone home. Maybe just go ahead, tell your friends to avoid this guy, he's gross. Go ahead, tell the date himself he's gross, that he is not the lover that he thinks he is. And without question, don't go on a second date with him. Certainly do not marry a guy like that. But what you have done, in my opinion, is appalling. You went to the press with the story of a bad date, and you have potentially destroyed this man's career over it, right after he received an award for which he was worthy. And now here is where I am going to claim victim. You have chiseled away at a movement that I, along with all of my sisters in the workplace, have been dreaming of for decades. A movement that has finally changed an oversexed professional environment that I, too, have struggled through at times over the last 30 years in broadcasting. If you're lucky, there's a really good chance that you're not going to experience the toxic work environment that the rest of us have endured, and that is because of the remarkable progress being made against the Harvey Weinsteins and the Kevin Spaceys of the world. The Me Too movement has righted a lot of wrongs, and it has made your career path much smoother. And here's where I'm guessing it's going to be a long career path. You're 23. What a gift. Yet you looked that gift horse in the mouth and chiseled away at that powerful movement with your public accusation. And I'm going to repeat this because it's important. If you were sexually assaulted, go to the cops. If you were sexually harassed, jeopardizing your work, speak up and speak out loud. But by your own descriptions, that is not what happened. You had an unpleasant date and you did not leave. That is on you. And all the gains that have been achieved on your behalf and mine are now being compromised by the allegations that you threw out there. And I'm going to call them reckless and hollow. I cannot name you publicly and sentence you to a similar career hit as Ansari because you chose to remain anonymous. Lucky you. But as you grow in your photography career, I really do hope that you remember what you did to someone else's career, all because of that bad date that was not a sexual assault, that was not sexual harassment by your description. And I hope the next time you go on a bad date, you stand up sooner, you smooth out your dress, and you bloody well leave. Because the only sentence that a guy like that deserves is a bad case of blue balls, not a Hollywood blackball.
All right, so you guys just saw that clip, and I agree with everything that Ashleigh Banfield said. And the fact that she's being interviewed today, and she was saying that she was scared to say that because, you know, she has been bold in the past and she's been punished for it. And then, you know, you have these social justice warriors, especially some of these female feminists, who will come at you and say, if you don't believe every female story, that you're victim blaming, you're victim shaming. You're not supposed to use any type of common sense, any type of logic. If somebody yells that this person raped me or assaulted me, I'm just supposed to believe it without, you know, just without batting an eyelash. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's good that somebody like Ashleigh Banfield, you know, basically stood up to the bullshit that's going on and spoke out because somebody needed to. But best believe she can get away with saying it because she's a white woman. Had that been a man, honey, they would have drugged his ass and shamed him and everything else. But I'm glad that somebody said it, and I'm glad that people are willing to listen to what she's saying because she's a female and because she's saying it, you know, because like I said, if that came from a man, it wouldn't have been received in the same manner, and they know that, you know. But the fact that she was scared to lose her job just lets you know that a lot of this reporting is unfair and it's biased. You know, when you can't speak the truth anymore in the media, that lets you know that the media is not truthful. When you have to, you know, be cookie cutter and, you know, walk a fine line between, you know, telling the truth and having common sense and logic. If common sense and logic can get you fired from your job in the media, that says a lot about the media that people are paying attention to. And this is why a lot of people don't fool with the mainstream media no more. This is why a lot of people come to YouTube, they come online, they come to listen to alternative people speak about these stories that are viral, because the mainstream media is not going to tell you the truth. They're not going to spit that real. They're going to sugarcoat it. They're going to side with the victim automatically, as opposed to like really looking in depth into the story. And that's the part that pisses me off the most about this situation, is that this is making it bad for people who are real victims. You have women who are real victims of assault. They've been through a lot. They were physically hurt. It was a lot of things that happened to them. And now you have a woman who literally went on a bad date and she's trying to put herself in the same bucket as somebody who was assaulted and raped. This is ridiculous. Like, where do we draw the line? You know, at this point in time, it's like somebody can work so hard for their career and it can be ruined in a matter of moments just by somebody coming out and just, you know, saying anything. And these aren't even like recent stories. All this shit happened months ago, years ago, some of them from 20 years ago. Now, I understand, you know, some people being quiet and not wanting to, you know, come forward because of the shame. But a lot of those other stories do sound truthful. But when we see a bullshit story, we got to call it out. You know, the woman who's going against Seal right now, she went to the police and she did file a police report. So now we got to see how that plays out in the court of law. But this woman with this whole Aziz situation, she didn't file any police report. She's not even saying who she is. She's not, you know, she just literally wrote a letter to the media and this shit went viral and now people are demonizing him. You know, the whole situation is crazy. And, you know, like I said, if this stuff continues to happen, in a moment, everybody's going to be like, you know what, all you Me Too people, we don't want to hear it no more. Because I think at this point in time, a lot of people are just tired of this movement. And it's not fair because there's a lot of genuine people attached with this movement. But the problem is now all of the disingenuous attention whores are coming out the woodwork to attach their plight onto a movement that they have no business attaching their plight to. And people need to call it out and stop being scared to call out the bullshit. So anyways, y'all, let me know what you guys think about this entire situation concerning Seal and how, you know, what do you guys think about that? Do you guys think that, you know, how convenient that after Seal, you know, called out Oprah and Harvey Weinstein, all of a sudden here comes this woman, you know, calling him out? And then how do you guys feel about the Aziz Ansari situation where this woman like literally is anonymous and putting all this information out there and the mainstream media is running with it? You know, and they're treating her in the same, you know, case as somebody who was actually really assaulted and raped. You know, so this entire situation is just crazy. So let's go ahead and get the discussion popping. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that like button. And make sure you click that bell so you can be down with the notification squad, honey. So let's go ahead and get the discussion popping. Go ahead and leave a comment. All right. Deuces. Hey you guys, it's your girl T. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share my videos. You can also visit Lovelyti.com to purchase any merchandise. Also, don't forget to click the boxes down below to watch any of my previous videos. Talk to y'all later. Deuces.